Balls.
Balls. Hey everybody.
Hi.
Hi. How are you? Hi.
Hi.
You made it. You made it through another week because we're recording a new show of This Is the Future.
Unfortunately.
Bet your bottom dollar. Wow.
Bottom.
Well, if you can't tell, based upon the little the sun around my eyes, it's getting warm out. So be safe out there, kids.
Yeah, you look like a red raccoon.
Thanks, man. Like a red, like almost maybe go for a red panda. Those things are cool too.
Yeah. They walk around like this. They're all like.
They do. Yeah, they're. I dig those guys.
That was a spot on impression.
You wrap yourself in a red carpet.
Yeah. Hopefully not, because I'll be swimming with the fishes. You know, got chopped up by a mob boss.
That would be no. Do they have the mafia in Portland?
Yeah.
Yeah, because you live there, right, buddy?
Yeah, they do. It's called the PC police.
PC police. Wow. All right. They should put that in the reason to move there manual. That would attract. You know, I was actually talking to a few customers lately. We always end up talking about different places that they live because that's easy.
Right. Easy. Yeah.
And a few people were like, we were talking about Oregon, and every time I discussed like what it was the last time I was there, I wasn't being mean. It just wasn't very positive. Portland, like specifically Portland. It was like, yeah, when I was there, they didn't really have any cops, you know.
Right.
Be careful out there.
It is.
And then Seattle's not looking much better. And also, interestingly enough, they're not on the top 10 places to move to list this year.
Seattle
or Portland. They're usually Portland is especially usually on number one, or somewhere in Oregon is usually on the list. Nothing about the Northeast this year. You know, well, that's the price of whatever happened.
Sure.
I don't know what you call it, but
it's a price, that's for sure.
Yeah, I can't wait to take my parents through there. Be like, check out all these tents, huh, Dad? They love camping.
It's their passion. Really,
like, wow, they really are an outdoor folk, aren't they? Yeah, they camp right next to the interstate. That way they can just hop right on and go to work. Nice and easy.
So I work next to, not bragging or anything, but I work next to a bunch of homeless camp, a big homeless camp. And it's like this little, like, you know, like when you see like you're on the freeway or the interstate or whatever, and there's like little grassy corners.
Yeah.
So there's like one that's like kind of underneath an like underpass, and then on top of a like bridge that a train is under. So it's like, it's weird.
Yeah, okay.
You know, so like there's like probably like 5 to 6 tents, and it's like the city always takes them down, and then 2 weeks later, sure as shit, they're back, you know. So for like 2 weeks at a time, like they clear. There's like, it's the neighborhood's pretty okay for like 2 weeks, and then like it comes back, you know. So one of my favorite things to do is when I take out the garbage and the recycling at the end of the night is I just open the door, and you know, there's like the freeway, trains, and then there's the big homeless camp. And I love watching people that don't, how to say this, like don't necessarily look like they live on the street, and they're walking all shady, like with their head down and the hood on, and they're going to the homeless camp, and I'm like, yep, they're going to go buy drugs. That's what they're doing. Because it's like, yeah, you see them walk, and then about 5-10 minutes later, you see them walk away. And it's like, they don't look like they necessarily would live. You know, I'm not trying to profile anyone, but they look like they live indoors. They just look like they just are gonna go buy something. You pointing to me?
I'm pointing at me. Like, I have a home, I dress in a hoodie, and I'm going to buy drugs. That would be me you'd see on the street.
But like these drugs you can't buy in a pot dispensary.
wouldn't go to, I'll be honest with you, I wouldn't buy drugs that had me going to anybody's tent unless we're at a festival.
I see what
That's
you
it.
mean.
You know what I'm saying? Like I've done that. So yeah, the last time I bought drugs from a tent, I was at a festival.
Sure.
And the time before that.
Well, these aren't festival drugs. Let's just say that.
It's just crazy to me to be like, how do you meet your dealer? You know, be like, hey man, I moved my tent. I'm gonna drop a pin here for you.
Yeah, there's an
it's just
app.
like,
There's an app.
huh?
Make it a joke. Come on, go with it. It's a joke.
Oh no, I thought you were serious. I don't know anymore, man. I hear you can just buy, you can just Google drugs, like just buy them. I don't, but I hear you can. And I think you're being serious. I don't know. I don't fucking know. I'm not gullible. I just don't know the answer. So I'm like,
When in doubt, always laugh.
how does that? But I mean, just not to get too crazy, but I mean, just thinking about it for a second, be like, at what point in your life where you're like, I got to straighten myself up. I used to get drugs from back of a Honda Civic, and now I'm going to these camps, and it's getting dangerous. I'm going to roll my ankle. I mean, this is just crazy. I don't know.
Yep.
That's a serious habit you got there, man. If you're going to a homeless camp.
Sure. Yeah. Well, I mean, Portland's gone to shit, but how have you been?
I mean, I don't. Well, the city's fine. I mean, the same old shit. People are. I mean, we're talking about dark stuff. This place isn't any better. But what's interesting here is that crime has gone through the roof, and a lot of local businesses in the cities are closing up because they're just getting robbed too much.
Really? Yeah.
Well, you kind of figure. I think that follows along with inflation. In all fairness, the price of everything goes up. People start struggling. Those that are really struggling start robbing other people. So, and that just not to bum anybody out, but since I'm throwing out advice, something I've been dealing with in my job lately, everyone, all 7 of you pay attention, should keep an eye out for. If your phone gets stolen, you immediately want to call your cell phone provider, like right away, because they're stealing phones for SIM cards now. They're not stealing so much the phone because it's a phone. If it's an iPhone, you're going to get it ripped off probably because it's an iPhone. But everyone else, your shit will get stolen because they can steal your SIM cards, put them in other phones, change all your passwords. Before you even know what happened, they drained your account and ordered a bunch of tickets to the Ice Capades. Seen it happen 1,000 times. So in all seriousness, watch your fucking phone. If it gets stolen, immediately call your cell phone provider. Have them kill the fucking SIM card. Shut down the phone.
Yeah.
Just a heads up. Because at my job, I'm getting that. I'm dealing with the people that are stealing SIM cards. So, and it's bullshit. They don't even sound like the same people. Your name's David? Yeah, my name's David. I'm sorry, I can't do voices anymore because I know I'm so paranoid to do voices. But let's just say a female voice from the South, if that's fair. Anyone, not a David, not a fucking David at all, a David. People that I don't even know if they've ever met someone named David are claiming to be David. So in any case, and I tried one of my tricks, which is used to be when we found fraudsters, we would call the number on the account.
Right.
Because they just stole your identity. They didn't steal your fucking cell phone number. They steal your cell phone number. I try to call you and say, hey, is this so-and-so? Someone's hijacked your shit. They just don't text back. Like, yeah, I hijacked your shit. Yeah. You're dealing with it right. You're dealing with me right now. You're fucked, is what I'm saying. If they have your phone number, you're kind of fucked. So if your phone goes missing, it's more important than you might think. You want to move fast.
Yeah. That would suck.
That's gonna keep getting creative out there. I'm not to be a bummer, but if you asked how it is, it's pretty fucking hard around here. It's even hitting me. Like even I made a joke in the grocery store yesterday. She was like, the woman was, they always have to say the same shit, bless their heart. And she was just like, you want to, before you even get going, they're like, you want to put your phone number in? They got to say that. And I said, ma'am, no offense. I said, but the way shit's going, how expensive this shit is, nobody's going to forget to put their phone number in. You don't have to fucking remind us. I said, I'm only shopping the yellow stickers. That's it. And it's tough. I'm like, fuck me. Like, seriously, my favorite cereal is just some geriatric raisin bran with coated raisins. Yeah. It's $7 a box.
Jesus.
I'm just saying, like, okay, I mean, maybe people are used to paying that. I'm not. $2.50, $3 for some flakes and fruits. I mean, Jesus, I'm not trying to bitch, but it does hurt when you thought you made a good living, and now
Well, I
you're
mean,
like,
I
the
work
fuck happened? Like, I do okay. Why is my lunch $20? What the fuck? I even, I just ordered a sandwich. I got my own water, $20.
I mean, that's why, is because things are so expensive. Like I've worked in restaurants, well, basically half my life almost, and it's just businesses have to up the price
Sure.
because, especially like place I work, a jug of oil that you like put in a deep fryer, used to be $20. Now it's $50, and that's finding a cheap one. So it's doubled, more than doubled. So things have to go up, and that's just an example.
Right.
Chicken is more expensive than beef, blah blah blah. Like so much shit's expensive. So if the restaurant or the bar is paying more, you have like the customers. It's just it
No, yeah,
sucks.
no, I understand. It's just you have to, a little bit's a little bit, but when you really start to notice it, you're like, fuck, I gotta really tighten my belt.
Yeah.
All there is to it. It's
Mhm.
fucking, that's not fun.
Male's here.
Nice. Male.
She is a blue dog, so that makes sense.
You are watching Blue's Clues.
But how have you been, man? How are you? How's
I'm
that?
good. I'll tell you this, I got my sunburn because I did something I haven't done since I was a kid. And no, it doesn't involve fire and gasoline. I went to an air show, which I think is rad. I'm a total like military death machine nerd. I love that shit. I think it's great. Machine guns and metal and all that crap. I love it. I think the mailman and your dealer showed up at the same time.
I live in a tent, so I am the dealer.
That is one of the coolest digital backgrounds I've ever seen. Is that one of those fake backgrounds and you're really sitting on a
Yeah.
You're sitting on a milk crate in your office.
Yeah, I have the money for all that, but not in an apartment.
You have great Wi-Fi because you're out in the middle of just in the middle, right next to the train tracks. They get great Wi-Fi out there.
Yeah, you could just steal it from anybody,
Oh, that's fantastic. It's gonna be hot in them tents this summer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I went to an air show. That's how I really got. I had sunscreen in my back pocket and I applied it to my face. But when you're doing this shit for like 4 hours, just looking at airplanes fly over your head,
you're looking at the sun basically.
That's how I got it, like here, like that. And my dad, he's older than I am, obviously, so he was like looking at the planes, but then he would lose his shit and kind of like stumble back because you're just doing this for a minute and you get vertigo. And so he was stumbling across the tarmac and I was like holding onto the railing, like, whoa.
Well, it's one of those things where it's like standing up too quickly. You get a little bit of a head rush. You're like, like this for so long, and then all of a sudden you're like, whoa,
Yeah, exactly.
It's like staring at your phone watching porn too long,
Yeah, if you do that first thing in the morning, you got fuzzy eyes all day, and I do know what you mean. I've had to discipline myself.
Yeah, fuzzy eyes and fuzzy fingers.
But it was neat to see everybody get sunburned at the same time, because that's really what an air show is. It's a bunch of people trying to hide under the airplanes, and then everyone else just getting fried like bacon. And it was pretty cool. And the airplanes don't have any air conditioning in them, so when people go in and they walk through them, they're sweating their ass off. Right. It's kind of neat. I think after a couple hours, most people are done like understanding what a veteran does or a military person. They're like, yeah, this shit sucks. That's it. Bye. They're done. They leave before the show's over. People are like, fuck this, gotta go home, put steaks on the grill. I'm like, okay. I like it. I love it. I think it's awesome. Just awesome. Machine guns, like, oh, beautiful. Just beautiful. Beautiful. Best thing man ever made is a weapon to kill somebody with. Just beautiful.
Yeah. Best thing a man ever made is a thing to unmake a
Kill
man.
other men. Oh, wait a minute. He planned his exit strategy. Imagine, I thought for a second how much fun it would have been if they invented all these cool machine guns, but never figured out the rounds. Like, you know how we used to use the balls?
Sure.
What if we still shot those? Like, we figured out all the machine guns, but we're still shooting balls at people instead of rounds. Like,
Right.
that would really fucking hurt.
Ow, ow, fuck. What is this, an airsoft gun?
Throwing steel balls at people.
Yeah.
We've come a long way. Have you ever seen even definitely movie footage? What am I thinking? Have you ever seen real footage of a cannonball taking someone's leg off?
No.
That'd be neat if someone had that, like real footage. But I had an iPhone back in 1776, boy. And let me tell you, them cannonballs fuck people up. No, but if you've ever seen that, that's gnarly. Like seeing like how we used to kill each other. Like a cannonball doesn't explode, at least
No,
doesn't look like it.
And no, it's just like
Bowling
a
ball.
Yeah, that's going really fast. That's all.
That's so gnarly.
Well, there's that fat guy that takes the cannonball in the stomach, right?
Yeah, but I mean, he's still. I mean, I don't know. Not that can't be the same cannonball. But I just see these balls like in that movie Patriot, the cannonball jumping through, you know, the battlefield, and
Yeah.
he snaps somebody's leg off and keeps going. Like, oh my god.
Well, because like, isn't the cannonball just like, or a cannon? Isn't that just like the step up from like
A catapult.
Yeah, that's
Right.
the catapult.
Yeah. I like to throw rocks.
Yeah. So it's just like it goes from, you know, punching, slingshot, catapult.
Look like you're doing a zoo game.
Yeah. Yeah, fuck this. Here, I'll just do a puppet show.
Let's do puppet jokes.
We fucking should. I got a puppet, man. I think I do.
I got a puppy. Yeah, I got a rash, man.
Yeah, forget about it. Life moves on.
What did you do anything weird this weekend?
Oh, I'm sure. Let's see. What did I do that was weird? I saw a movie that you haven't seen yet, so we can't talk about it. But I did see this movie called what is it called? Everything, Everywhere, All at Once. That's what it's called. And it is awesome. I hate to be like hype a movie so much, you know, but it's all you got it, but just go see it. It'll blow your dick right off. Not just yours, Tony, but everyone else. All 6.5 people that watch it, it'll blow your dick, tits, whatever you got. Blow
now
it right
I got it. Now I gotta go. You know.
Yeah.
Can't miss that. But the trailer looks cool. It looks, and then the one thing that you said that I thought was really funny yesterday when you were telling me about it was that the guy who's in it is the guy from Goonies. The kid who played what did he play in Goonies? What's his name? Data. Played Data in Goonies.
Had all the like stuff and then Short Round in Indiana Jones. Mr. Jones. So before I saw the movie, I watched a quick video of him on a late night show. I forget what show it was, one of them. And he's an adult now, and he's, you know, I think he's probably in his late 40s, maybe 50s, something like that. He's an older-ish person. And he you know, looks like an adult, but then when he talks, he still sounds like Short Round. He still sounds like Data. Has a tiny little voice, you know, just like
that made me laugh. Because you're right. I saw the trailer and I was like, holy shit, he's right. Like it doesn't sound any different.
It confuses you for a second. It's like walking off a curb that you didn't know was really big, you know? You're like, whoa, what the fuck? That's what it's like. You look at him, you're like, oh, he's gonna talk like an adult, and then he's like, Mr. Jones, you know? You know what? I don't say this often, but he's adorable.
Yeah, I just think it's, I mean, not, this isn't funny, but I just think it's neat that he's been gone for X amount of years, comes back and does a feature length film.
Oh yeah, a
Wow.
huge movie, a crazy, just like
I saw the trailer and I was like, whoa, all right, okay. And usually I don't know this production company very well, but whenever you see that symbol A24, that production company, it's usually pretty good and fucked up. Like I've seen, there's when I saw that logo, I was like, okay, I've seen some shit. Like these guys have shown me some stuff. I don't remember what it was, but yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to see that one. And then I just wanted to say that I watched Jackass 4.5.
okay, yeah, I haven't
And I
seen.
can't really tell you which one's better, man, but I have a ton. Well, here's my thing. I'm a documentary dude. I love when they're just talking to the camera, whatever's going on behind the scenes. I love movie magic and how it's made. I just think it's intriguing as hell. I think it'd be fun to be on a set, just being told what to do, then standing around for 17 hours, that kind of thing, whatever.
Right,
And so 4.5 is like, they do this every time now, which is really
right,
fucking smart because you
yeah.
have all these outtakes and then you make a second movie. It's like, God damn, these guys,
It's like
cha-ching.
yeah, it's like you know what Jackass, you know what Johnny Knoxville is? Do you know what they are? They're like a really good mom. They really know how to make a second meal out of the first meal. They really know how to use their leftovers. You know what I'm saying?
Man, you talk about left. You came out of left field. Where do you come up with this shit? You have a beautiful brain.
I
Like
know.
it's adorable. I picture it like one of those bicycles, the pink ones with the shit hanging off in the basket and the flowers. That's
Yeah,
your fucking brain. Where'd you come up with that? A
no,
mom.
yeah, they're like a mom.
This
They know how to
guy.
use.
You
They know
should.
how to use it. They're like, we had spaghetti last week. Guess what's for dinner tonight? Spaghetti sandwiches. You're
Fucking
having spaghetti
beautiful.
sandwiches. That's what you're having. That's what they do. It's like, oh, we already did this, but get to you. We're gonna reheat this. 4.5. We're gonna reheat that movie we just made.
That's a fucking beautiful analogy. Just so quick off the dome. You're like, they're a mom. Like,
They're a
what?
mom.
How did
Yeah,
you tie
they're a
that
fucking
shit together?
mom.
And then
They're
you
a
tie it
housewife.
together like leftovers. You're like, what the fuck?
You know what? I say shit, and I don't know if it's gonna make sense.
It did to me. That was beautiful. I was like, this fucking guy. Just like when you explain music, you're like, this sounds like a dishwasher. You're like, wow. And then it makes sense. You're like, come on. And you're like, yeah, no, hear me out. But no, you have a good point. Yes, mom with the leftovers. Dude, but seriously, there's bits in there that aren't in the first one, and they're explaining it. They're like, all right, so this happened, or we fucked with the whole thing is like what I thought was the funniest was Danger Aaron. Shit, I'm trying to remember the other guy's name. The other guy's missing the tooth.
Poopy? No.
No, the original Danger Aaron.
Yeah, Danger Aaron.
Yeah, but there's another original guy that it's kind of like Danger Aaron. They both have like blonde hair.
Uh-huh. Oh, Dave.
They were in the room together.
Dave
They turned,
Engel?
huh?
Dave Engel.
Yep. Dave England or Engel, whatever. Yeah, whatever the fuck his name is. Those two were the ones that got locked in the room together in the fourth
Yeah,
one.
yeah.
And then 4.5, he basically says like that's the most scared he's ever been in his life. Like they show him right after it. Like he really wasn't having a good time. He's like, I hope it was funny, but I wasn't having any fun. And I feel it in those guys. Like the movie's neat, but the outtakes of like, hey, these guys are fucked up. Like they're scared. Like they have PTSD from this shit. Imagine showing up on set and they blow up a porta potty. They blow up a lot of porta potties for everybody. It's cool, but I mean, just imagine. They said they filmed for a year. That's a year of worrying about every time you go to work. Like I worry when I go to work that I'm not gonna do my job and they're gonna bitch at me and it's gonna stress me out. I don't worry that a toilet's gonna explode. I don't worry that I'm gonna get shot with an elephant gun while I'm dressed like I mean, it's just crazy shit. Like,
yeah,
I love it. That'd be a weird job scene. It'd be a weird, it'd just be a weird job, man.
you're constantly like you're on set and you're constantly like
Yeah, you've got to have like PTSD. You got to be freaked out.
but then you're told, they're probably told like don't act like anything's gonna happen. Just try to act normal all the time. Because like they always look like they're like not
off
looking
guard.
over their shoulder, but they've got to have anxiety, be like, someone's fucking Johnny Knoxville's gonna like kick me in the back of the head or something, you know, like.
Right, they had a bow and arrow with a small punching glove, on, and they would just, you know, and it's Knoxville and the producers and the director just fucking with everybody. Like that's it. Like those poor guys are just, it's just on the whole time. But there's a bit in there that I don't think they show in four. It's in 4.5 where they sit them all down for the COVID. COVID happened, so they had to wait for 7 months. When they came back to filming again, they sat everyone down for a COVID briefing under a tent, and this is their first thing. So they're all sitting there with the goggles and the mask on, and this guy's walking them through a COVID presentation for safety. And then in lightning speed, they blow up a bouncy house, a full size. It knocks everybody out. It kicks people out. Like it's fucking great. Like full speed bouncy house inflated within 5 seconds. And it was just like, wow. And the one guy, Poopies, he's like, I thought the world just ended.
The world just ended.
I'm like, fuck yeah, man, that's great. So I love that. Like, you're right. That is The Leftovers. They're really good at doing something with The Leftovers. They do it with every movie, and they probably take care of everybody. Like, I guess the way I was thinking about it was, they said that because it was because of COVID, they couldn't use a lot of outside people for obvious reasons. So they also needed people that were going to be reactionary. So they had to surprise everybody all the time. And then, you know, Dark Shark, I don't know if you got to see 4.5 because they take him fucking skydiving. And I
saw that in the preview.
Holy shit. He's only been on a plane once before, and he was crying. It was part of they took him on his first flight. They flew to Hawaii for something with the Jackass crew, and he's crying, like literally crying the whole flight. He cried the whole flight. And so they took him skydiving, and then they had the pilot, they faked the fire. The pilot tried to put it out, and then the pilot jumps out and tells them they're all on their own. Yeah, and Dark Shark, he's already like, he's doing like this shit in the plane. He's like he's really like, he's gone. They're like, Johnny's like, he was gone. Like he was like, he was like, Dark Shark said, I was doing everything I could to just not kill these motherfuckers. Like, that's where he was at. He's like, I've been shot 9 times and I was scared to death. He's like, I'd rather get shot 9 more times than do that again.
Get shot 9 more times. Oh man, because that guy's one of the like new cast members, like dad, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. They explained how they picked each new person too. They got that big dude Zach from YouTube, obviously. Like Knoxville's like YouTube. I mean, he was all over the fucking place on YouTube.
Oh yeah.
The bullet, what was it? The fireworks with the bullet vest or whatever, what that gag, where that guy Zach on YouTube. I don't know if anybody knows what I'm talking about. This guy lined himself up with 1,000 firecrackers, naked to his skin, and just set him off. And so now he's on Jackass. He wins.
A hell of a way to get famous, man. I just gotta like, I saw a video like where that guy, and wasn't part of the movie, but he had a video where he took off like all his clothes besides like, you know, like underwear or whatever, and like built a ramp and got on a bike and hit the ramp and like went into like thousands of cactuses, like big cactuses with the huge needles, you know, and he like just like his big fat body landed right on top of him. Like,
I just don't, I mean, I don't know how you handle that, like down the line. Like that's got to stick, you know.
Yeah, and plus you got a fucking needle stuck in between your fucking flaps, you know, underneath your fucking fat flaps. Ooh.
Oh, they do some shit where they put raw sushi in his folds, and then they wrap him in saran wrap, and they do calisthenics, and then they all pull it off and eat it. That's fucking.
Oh, that is some.
But anyway, yeah, the 4 point, because last week I watched 3.5, and that had Ryan Dunn in it. And
that was when he was still. Oh,
I think it was 3.5. I could be wrong.
I thought he passed away a lot sooner, but yeah.
Well, it's been 10 years since they did a Jackass movie.
Oh, okay. So yeah.
Yeah, that's what Knoxville was saying. They were saying it's all on Knoxville. Like Knoxville, they said every time they film one, they figure it's going to be the last one. The first one, they didn't think they'd ever do another one, and so on and so forth. So they always film with that mentality. But Knoxville said that he had sat around for 10 years coming up with all these ideas, and he's like, I want to do them. And so they decided to do another Jackass movie. And they'll make another one. They'll be so fucking old. They'll be like, someone's gonna die in the show. Like, this is it. Like, gonna die.
I've said this before. Like, what's next? Like, what are they? Like, what's that? Like, I feel like they've done so many crazy.
I don't know how much there is left.
Yeah, like, hi, I'm Johnny Knoxville. This is a gun. Like, like, what is there left to do?
And this is called The Last Act.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Like, I just don't know what else is there left for them to do.
Well, like I said, it took them 10 years to come up with enough shit for another movie. So, the well's probably getting low.
Sure.
I can imagine. But it was neat that they put a bunch of new people in there. And I have a ton of respect. The one guy, Poopies, was standing on a ladder, took a sledgehammer and just sledgehammered the ladder out from under himself and went down like 8 feet onto his face. And he's like, my teeth are numb. I'm like, I'm sorry, but I really don't understand the part where it says these stunts are done by trained professionals. I have a hard time with that because there's nothing, I don't see anyone wearing a back brace or a mouth guard. A cup is it. And if they're using a cup, like the one dude, is it Danger Aaron? I think he has a bowling ball thrown at his dick. It could be the other guy, but in any case,
he took a lot of dick shots in that movie.
They said he was a warrior. He's like, they're like, what's the most bust up part on you or whatever? He said, it's my dick. He's like, everything happened to my dick in this movie. But they got a professional bowler and she got him the first time. And it's just so cute. I'm sorry, but professional bowlers, like, they look like professional bowlers. They don't look like a fucking swimsuit model or anyone else. And she looked foxy. I'm sorry, she had the bowling shirt on with the cute skirt and just this little woman who's just like, probably at that daytime, she's like, sure, whatever you need, Terry, I'll get those files right over to you. But somehow they found, she's a professional bowler, so probably that's what she does. Seems such like a cute little harmless thing. And she throws the first one. He's got his legs spread. He's naked. He's just got a cup. She throws the first one and it hits his inside of his thigh and then it hits his dick. And it's got to be like 70, 80 miles an hour.
Oh, I'm sure.
And she tells him, she's like, just so you know, she's like, I bowl with the heaviest bowling ball there is, 16 pounds or whatever. And he's just like, Jesus. So then he's like crawling on the bowling alley towards her in Knoxville. The crawling, he's like, I can't. He's like, I can't. He's like, I'm done. And she's like, oh, come on, don't be such a pussy. Like, I'm like, oh my God, this chick's fucking just roast. So then the second one, like she throws, like, I can't believe he sat back down, but she did. And she threw it and it hit his cup. You hear it go pop. It's like, whoa, everyone's like, ugh. And the cup, the cup messed up where his legs come together. That part right there. Yeah, it looked real bad. I'm just like, God damn. But I'm thinking to myself this whole time, I'm like, how long have these guys been out of work? Like, but with money. Like, because I don't know, man. You ask yourself, be like, I don't dig my job. Like, would I do this? Would I take a bowling ball to the balls? Like, would I go with this as a career choice? Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it feels like I get kicked in the balls all day anyway.
Right. Might as well. You're getting kicked in the balls by life, so might as well, right? Right.
It's just like, hey, this is over with quicker than just having to keep going back to work. I have money. I can just figure it out. Right. Here you have to keep fighting for air every week. But I was just like, yeah, I don't know, man. It would be neat to be like, they had a tennis pro on there and she serves at 100 miles an hour. And she was hitting it. She got they were playing down the clown. So she was, getting them all until they were all laying on the ground crying. It was just, I love shit like that. I could keep watching that crap. I could. They could keep making them and I'd keep watching them.
They're awesome, man. They're fucking, It reminds me, like when I was like 20 or 21. So I was playing lacrosse in like a private club in Bend, and there's a few times that like there would be like a show, and I would get done with like a lacrosse match or practice or something, and I would go to the show with like my pads in the car, and it was I was broke, everyone I knew was broke, but we wanted to get fucked up, we wanted to get drunk. So I was like, one night I was like, I have an idea how to get money. So there was a punk show, and there was like the line to get in, everyone's standing in line. So I went in, I put my cup on, and I put my goalie pants on. And they're just shorts, and you could put pants over them. And what they are is they're just like little shorts that have like pads on the thigh and in the dick region. So I went up to people on the line. I was like, $1 for a kick in the nuts. And I didn't tell any of them that I had a cup and pads on. So I went to 22 different people. They all gave me $1, and they all kicked me in the nuts. And it didn't hurt really until the last couple was starting to hurt around like kind of like my legs, my thighs.
Right.
But I remember I would fake it and act like it hurt to like really milk it. And some people gave me a couple of extra dollars. And we ended up making a lot of money, and we got drunk.
You're gonna need to be drunk after being kicked in the dick for a half hour.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
That's awesome, man. They have the theme song. It's called "If You're Gonna Be Dumb, You Gotta Be Tough," and that's right up your alley, man. If you're gonna be dumb, you gotta be tough. I love that.
That's a true statement.
That's fucking great, man. I was just thinking to myself, because I'm like, I beat myself. I must be in the like middle of my life where I'm realizing that everything I've done with my time, most of it hasn't done anything. You just put money in my pocket and whatever. And I'm like, like even if you get punched in the nuts for TV, you're helping somebody out. You're you're leaving something there for someone who needs a laugh someday. You'll be old, you'll be dead, but still someone's going to get a kick out of you getting kicked in the dick like that. That's just the thing. Even if you're on your deathbed, you're sharing a room with 6 other people because you didn't save any of your money. So this is the end. You get a curtain at night. That's your privacy. And she's putting in another catheter, and the woman's like, "Aren't you the guy that got kicked in the dick?" You're like, "I am. I'm the guy. 1,001 kicks. That's me. You want to say it?" Like, that's the other thing is, does anyone have to look at these gentlemen's genitals? Like, there's some purple people eaters out there. I mean, there's some
purple people. Purple Peter eaters.
I feel like we could make a show on doing the stunts that they tell us not to do.
Yeah.
The table tennis, the things where you put your dicks together and you just smush them down and play table tennis. I think we could do that.
It would just be a video, and at the end it would just have our gravestones.
It would be cool if they did like someone did like a really old Jackass where they're really old and like too old to be doing this shit, and they're like really getting fucked up, but it doesn't matter,
breaking hips and shit.
It's gonna I mean, Knoxville, I was thinking about it today, where he said just in that one movie he did about the theme park. You remember that one?
Mm-hmm.
Where he said he knocked it, his eyeball came out of his socket. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just one movie. And like, he knocked his lights out a few times, but his eye came out of his head. I mean, hey, man.
During filming the 4th one, he was 49 years old. They said that. Like, Steve-O was like, "You're not supposed to have any concussions past 50. Well, it's okay. Johnny Knoxville's 49. So that was then. So I got to believe he's probably 50 now. So he's old. He's still doing this at 50, man.
Well, he still takes one. He did the bull again, didn't he?
Yeah, and he got knocked out. Like, it knocked him out. He was snoring. That's when you know you're knocked clean out, is when you start snoring. Like,
Wait, what? You just go right past hurting and you go to take a nap. You just go right to nap time.
notice that, like in the movie,
Awesome.
it knocked him out, and he started snoring. Like when fighters get knocked clean out, like sometimes they snore because they're like knocked so fucking out. They knocked them out into fucking dreamland. They're like, like this saying, like getting put to sleep. They really do. They're fucking like,
But that's crazy though. You just wake up like I had the wildest dream, man. Like, yeah, and you lost a lot of money in that fight.
the wildest dream, man. I won the fight. Yeah, that's a dream.
That is a dream. In real life, you got knocked the fuck out, and that's it. And you snored on ESPN. That's crazy to me that you can really get hit so hard you go to sleep. Like
Yeah.
I've heard that, but I thought it was just people talking shit. I didn't know you could.
If
So
you
I would almost be interested to hear a doctor's explanation of what the body goes through in order for you to like be physically snoring.
If you watch, yeah, I wonder actually. That's a good point. I wonder what that means.
You're
You know?
fucked. That can't be healthy. You skipped a whole bunch of cycles. You went straight from fighting to deep sleep. That means you didn't stretch, you didn't have your dinner, you didn't take a shower, you probably didn't go to the doctor, you missed a whole bunch, and you slept in your gym clothes. Do you know how disgusting that is? You're covered in sweat. You're not at your natural home. You're on the floor. It's not good. It can't be good for you. Just from a medical perspective, it's got to be dangerous. I don't know. That's crazy though, to get hit so hard you're snoring.
Yeah,
Is he okay? Yeah. He's just dreaming of the Three Little Pigs. He's gonna be fine.
If you watch the fourth, when you watch the fourth one, you watch that bull sketch. He gets put out. He starts snoring, like it's
You,
yeah.
I'm serious. In all seriousness, like you do have to be tough. And then they're filming them. They look scared, but they still
yeah.
like they know. You know what I mean? They're scared, but they're doing it. And my hat's off to you. I mean, I'm not that tough. I'm not that dumb. I'm not gonna do that. I think if somebody slapped me, I'd probably get mad. You know,
See,
like,
that's the thing. I have a thing with my head. I get hit in my head, and like I kind of see. I'm like, like just like
yeah.
even like hitting my head like on a wall or a tree. Like it makes me want to punch something. Like I'm like even hitting my own head. I'm like, I just want to fucking punch that wall that just hit me.
Well, and that's why I think to myself, like, these guys have been knocked around so many fucking times that they take it, like, and then beyond that, they're willing to do it for camera, which means they got to take it again and again and again, because it ain't always. They say they hate Jeff Tremaine for obvious reasons, the director, because he's always like, they said him and Knoxville go back and forth on good cop, bad cop. Like, who's going to talk these guys into doing it again?
Right.
Because they don't usually get it on the first shot. You know, like, okay, well, that worked, and that's not what we wanted. We wanted more. So we got to punch it up. We got to do it again. You know, and that would be like, I already know what it feels like. I don't want to do it again.
I don't want to do it again.
And they're like, well, if you don't do it again, then you're not going to be in another scene. You're going to make less money. I'm sure that's how it works.
I'm sure too. Yeah.
Right. Like if you're not in the scenes, you're not making money. So you got to do it. And it's either, you know, how many people sometimes probably coming to someone off the set, they're like they're in downward dog spinning in circles because they just got their ass kicked with a cactus or whatever happened. And they're like, shit, the camera wasn't rolling. Sorry, Timmy. And then so your buddy comes up to you and you're just like, I quit. I can't do this shit. And they're like, dude, it's either this or Walmart. And you're like, fuck. Like, do it again. And again. Did you get it? Do it again. Fuck this. I'm not going to Walmart. No way. I'm not. Then I need to check your bag. No.
That's how bad having a normal job is people would rather get kicked in the nuts.
That's what this episode's all about, people. That's the underlying premise right there, is that people would rather get their ass kicked, their balls knocked out of their asshole than have a day job. That's God's honest truth. How many actors and comedians have we heard mutter or say in specials or whatever, like, beats a day job? Everyone says that. It beats having a fucking day job. eating amazing dinners out of styrofoam at 2 o'clock in the morning because you're still on set. Hey, it's raining. You sleep in a shitty trailer, whatever. You know, it's not like, hello, welcome to blah, 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 bang. You don't have to do that job, you know? I'm sorry, man. I fucking hate work. I hate it the older I get. And I know I'm going to end up at Walmart. I know I am. I'm going to hand out those stickers. I already know. I already called him, gave him my resume. He's like, I'll see you in 30 years. No, I don't think I could do it though, Alex. I don't think I could be on Jackass. If it was a day job or Jackass, I think I'd be stuck to a day job.
Really?
Seriously, like
I could do
you
it.
think you could? I think you could. You have enough discipline, and you can laugh when stupid shit happens to you over and over again. Like you're halfway there.
I just might punch another cast member if I get hit in the face. Like whoever's closest to me might.
I'll tell you what. You do a twofer. You'll get hired, and I'll be the guy you punch in the face. I could take that. Like he's a friend of mine. Like he knows my goal. He knows that this is my strong side. So he always hits me on this side of my face. Like it's a nice, you know.
Yeah, but you're gonna get mad and punch the person the person next to you.
I'll punch the other side of my face.
Speaking of getting punched in the face, I think it's time to talk about music.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we were talking about Primus this week.
Yep. Primus, the EP, Conspiranoid.
Conspiranoid. What do you think?
I don't know.
Stole my line.
I listened to it as 3-4 times as much as I listen to any of the other albums that we do. And when I was younger, when I was like in my 20s, I really liked Primus a lot. I think I've said before that I kind of grew out of them. And this EP really confirmed that I don't think I like Primus anymore. I hate to be harsh, but whatever this album was, I was like, I just was not into it. I couldn't do it. Gave it a lot of chances, listen, because it's only 20 minutes, 3 songs.
Right.
I mean, there was some catchy riff in there,
right.
But like, I'm just listening to it. I'm like, this just doesn't do anything for me. It really doesn't.
I would have to say something similar. I think it was just almost the same review. It was Primus. I never heard the album Green Night, the green one with the guy on the bicycle.
Yeah,
I never heard that album.
I bought that when it came out, and it was kind of lackluster. I remember I used to really like Primus.
Well, we lived together, and you told me about that album, and you were like, "This isn't a good album."
It's not.
I was like, okay, and I never listened to it. And then I heard this is the newest stuff they've put out. Other than like they did that nursery rhyme book thing. They just done some weird shit lately. In the past 15 years, no offense, but they just haven't cranked out like a Primus, like a Primus record, if you will. Yeah. And they've been experimenting with things. So this didn't change that so much, but I would say this. I like the premise of the song Conspiranoid. I liked the message, like just the whole, like they do their Primus thing. They were making fun of different people for being this, that, and they were like talking about all these different conspiracies. I was like, yeah, that's funny. You're right. It's a thing. It was a good Primus idea,
Sure.
But I mean, Primus is a really good live band. And any chance I get to go see them live, or if they're on a bill, I don't go see them every time they're live, but I mean, they're fun live. They always been fun live. They fucking jam. I mean, that's what they're good at, in my opinion. I don't really know about the songs. I mean, they're cool, but this didn't change anything. It was just like, yeah, that's Primus. That's a cool song. I mean, but they're just gonna end up jamming on stage. Yeah. That's what they're gonna do, and that's what I like. So Primus doesn't suck to me. Not saying they don't suck anyway, but I never grew into them. I never grew out of them. I just like to see them live. Their albums I don't really play live. There's a couple that are neat, but they stick right where they're used to. They just haven't like come out with like some groundbreaking Primus album that's like, we're back and holy shit, people know who we are that never heard of us before.
They're not pumping out like Sailing the Seas of Cheese and
no,
it's not like
Fork Soda or any of that. They had a couple, they're not, it's not that. They haven't done that one.
I totally agree with you. They definitely are a live band for sure. I think after when I was listening to this, I also went back and listened to a few of their albums, their older albums, and I was just, it kind of had that same feel for me where I was just like, I think I feel the same about all their music. Like I'm just
you grow out of it.
And Primus is like one of the few bands that I grew out of, I think, because I still like Deftones, band I listened to when I was a kid.
Right.
I still like Korn. I'm not afraid to say it. Fucking Korn's awesome.
No shit.
Old Korn, first album, Issues, that kind of like that shit is fucking stinky fat kid music. Tell you that much. That's
that I never thought I would hear you. I don't mean that like I don't mean any certain way, but just never thought you would say Korn.
Really? Okay. I look like a Korn fan. Look at this.
We both could pass for juggalos on the wrong night. I mean, it happens, but
right night.
Debatable. But fuck, what did you say? Yeah, Korn. But yeah, anyway, we're not talking about Korn, but I know those first two albums were amazing. Just gotta say.
Yeah.
Those two Korn records. Even having Fred Durst's Limp Bizkit on there for a song or two wasn't terrible. But yeah. But as far as Primus goes, that's it was cool. It was good shit. And if they played it live, I'd probably dig it. They'd probably be better live.
Sure, I'm sure they would be.
Right.
Yeah, I just this is one of the few times during our show with this show where I come back with some kind of moment. I'm just like, just because usually I'm like, I didn't think I was gonna like it, and I liked it. But like this is one of the few times where I'm like, fucking not my cup of tea. I don't think I would want to listen to this again.
Right. I mean, I felt it was cool. They put something out, and I like the point of the song Conspiranoid. Mm-hmm. I thought that was cool. But I'm not going to buy the record or anything.
Right. Yeah.
I do just like you're saying, I still like them, you know what I mean? But I'll be honest, even like Sailing the Seas of Cheese, like I'm being honest with you, like I don't listen to a lot of songs that talk about sailing the seas of cheese. I mean, I've done drugs, just not that many drugs, you know what I mean? It's like Tales from the Punch Bowl, cool songs, but it's really the music. And my favorite song, one of my favorite songs from theirs in general is Over the Electric Grapevine. Mm-hmm. And that's just, it's a jam. Like it's just, I love hearing that shit live because it just sounds amazing live, but it's the music, not the lyrics.
Right.
So really, it's Les Claypool. It's the band that I like more than anything. The song was cool. It was Primus. I still wonder if they'll come out with something, if they'll just keep doing what they're doing, or if one day they'll kick it and maybe they'll find some new ground.
Right. Because it seems like even the one with the Green Apple one that came out a long time ago, it's kind of just like this one. It's not like, they're not fucking rocking. It's kind of it's like in between like rock and roll and mellow. It's like this weird thing. Like isn't like they're not like it's not doesn't have a rock vibe to it to me.
Well, and not to come out of left field with this, but I've said this before, since the pandemic, everyone's been putting out new music. Like not full albums necessarily, but they've been putting out new music. Arcade Fire put out a new album after the pandemic. And my one word that would describe almost all of that music and all the different genres that I've heard is mellow. Mm-hmm. People were locked in their homes for 2 fucking years with no hope, and musicians made music. There wasn't a lot of aggression. It was more like, I have a big bag of weed and I'm going to get through this, and I'm going to make some music while I do it, and whatever else they were up to. But there isn't a whole lot of punch in the music coming out right now. There's not a lot of bangers, as they say. Like the new art, not to go off, but in the new Arcade Fire record, there's one like like real arcade fight where you're like la 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 la, you know, nice and fucking fruity and yeah, and everything else is just like putting a baby to sleep.
Right.
You know, it's like, yeah, that's what you fuckers were doing for the last 2 years. Everybody was. With that being said, and this isn't the band we're talking about, the only one band I can think of that put out something like they always do that I felt stuck true to the tempo was the new Rammstein record, which we're not talking about right now. But that was like out of the pandemic, it was like, that's more fucking like it. Like that was great. So I love why everyone else is kind of chilled out. I'm waiting for them to get like pissed off and whatever they do to make their true aggressive music. If that's
Right.
if that's a thing, or if the 2020s have put everyone in a fucking coma, and this is what we're working with.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of truth. I think you're right. Yeah, that makes sense because I mean, yeah, you're indoors, you're kind of like pondering life. You know, like, is this it? Is this the last year of humanity? So you're just like, I'm just gonna get fucked up, and write a song, you know.
Well, and it made sense to me that Primus only came out with 3 songs, and the biggest one was about conspiracies. And the biggest thing that anyone talked about in the last 2 years was conspiracies, COVID conspiracies, and all this other shit.
Right.
So it was a cool idea for a song, but it's just like, where's the dynamite? Like, you guys are no offense, you guys are a fucking rock band. Like, come on, chuck it in, let's go.
Yeah.
It's like, nah, we don't want to scare the neighbors. We're in each other's garages. It's just like, all right, okay. And that's how I feel about the record. It's like, all right, okay, all right, okay.
There's no balls. There was just.
Thank you.
Neutered.
Right, and I'm thinking, how many heavy bands put out new records? I don't even know. I don't think there was that many, but those that I don't know. I haven't heard a lot of new heavy albums, so I couldn't tell you right now.
There's some. I mean, Meshuggah put out a masterpiece and it's on the wheel, so we won't,
Well, yeah, so I'll find out soon enough. But I love Primus. I do. Primus is fucking great. I like seeing him live. So the album was okay, cool premise. But I'm not buying it.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel
I'm not trying to be a dick or anything. I mean,
Well, I'm not either, but
No,
it's
we're
one
not.
of those things where it's like, I know the point of this is for us to review it, but it's like, the more I listen to it, the more I'm like, yeah, it's hard for me even to say anything about it because I'm just like,
right.
For me, it's got nothing, and I think it's cool that you were able to think it's cool. I'm not trying to be mean, but it's just like, what else am I supposed to say? It's just like,
for me, it's
got nothing for me. I'm sorry, like that's probably the nicest thing I could say about it. But I think it's cool that you took away that, at least you were able to, like, the first song, you were able to break that down and,
I can appreciate a long jam,
Sure.
and the lyrics and everything. But if I had any critiques directly of that song, I would say that I could only hear half of what they were talking about.
Mm-hmm.
But just, if I'm being clear, like, it was just like I heard banjos and boom, 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 boom. And then, people with Southern accents talking about the conspiracies, different conspiracies, but I couldn't make everything out or anything. I don't know. That always fucked me up with music too, is like when they lyrics, or when they put in edit a clip in or whatever, you don't always hear it. And
Right.
it's just like, well, am I meant to hear this or not? Like, is it part of the music that I don't really hear it? And that's the whole point. Like, these are 1,000 conspiracies, and the whole point is that they're all just bullshit, and you don't need to hear what they're actually saying.
I think that's kind of what they're getting at, that it kind of ends up just sounding like noise,
Then that's the art, and then I can respect that. But then sometimes in other albums, I'm like, is this an oversight, or do I need to get my hearing checked because I'm missing the message here?
I think it's like, there might be oversights, but also I think it's like, they have a lot of money, they spend a lot of money to make this amazing album, and like, they, in their opinion, maybe they try to make this album that sounds good, and they put a lot of money and is professionally done. So I think it's like, however it sounds is however it's supposed to be. You know what I mean?
They got whatever they were going for. That's what they got.
Yeah.
Gotcha. That'll work. Well, speaking of shit, people going for shit. You ready for the wheel?
Wheel. Let me wheel it over here.
That's right.
I really wish that this wheel was on wheels. It would make it a lot easier.
Well, we're gonna need a few more viewers before we put more money into the show.
That's fucking true, isn't it?
If I had a dating profile, I would definitely say we have a show with 5 strong viewers. I think it would really get us out there.
5 strong viewers and 5 inches. Who's in?
That's right. Rule of 5. All right. So number 1, did we decide, or did I just write this down, that we would do when we do the Coco soundtrack that we'll watch the movie?
Yes.
All right. So for those of you who didn't catch the last episode, we've mixed it up just a little bit. So now with some albums, we'll also tie in a movie that we feel has some sort of significant connection in one way or the other. So there's a few ideas. There's a few that we've already decided on the list. First example, number 1, Coco soundtrack along with the movie Coco. Number 2, Jefferson Airplane, Surrealistic Pillow, just the album. Number 3, we have that as an open space. Number 4, a new choice from our main man, Alex, Ulver, Perdition City.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. All right. Number 5, Whitey Morgan and the 78s, Honky Tonks and Cheap Motels. Number 6 is Billy Joel's The Stranger. Number 7 is another open space. Number 8 is Pink Floyd's Dark Side of the Moon with the Wizard of Oz.
Yep.
That's an old school stoner standby. And then number 9, we still have Scars on Broadway. It's self-titled. And then number 10, to Alex's point, Meshuggah's newest album, Immutable. Those are the 10 choices. Alex, you beautiful bastard, spin away.
Let her rip. What do we got for now?
I really can't believe we haven't landed on Coco. And we're not.
Blank.
That's an open space.
Yep. All right. Do it again. Come on, Coco.
This is pretty exciting.
10.
Ooh, close. All right. Well, that's Meshuggah's new album, Immutable. So there we go, man.
Meshuggah, the album is immutable. Immutable.
So for anyone who follows along with the music portion, I'm gonna go ahead and spell this shit out. The band's name is Meshuggah. This is Meshuggah.
Yep.
And the name of the album, it's the newest one. It's called Immutable. Immutable. So it'll rock your socks. This is not the Coco soundtrack. So fair warning. All right, and I think that pretty much concludes the show. As you know, if you're watching if you watch this and you have an idea now, not just for music, but if you have an album and a movie that you feel has significance that goes together, I will ask that you will have to, if you do it, and I would love for you guys to participate, of course. If you do it, you have to list the significance. We're going to want to know what the significance is.
Mm-hmm.
Where's you coming from with this? Because Alex has a crazy fucking brain, and he puts toast and bowling together. I mean, and he can make it work. So you got to make it work. You got to make it work too. We got to explain it. So yeah, a movie and an album that in your mind go together, and you just put it in YouTube in the comments of the most recent video, and then just try to give us an idea of where you're coming from. It could be real obvious, or it could be crazy.
It could be the soundtrack, to the movie, whatever,
It could be super easy, right? I mean, like a year ago, we did the Crow soundtrack. We could have done the Crow movie along with it. There are some amazing soundtracks out there with great movies. So please, to Alex's point, feel free. But we do ask that you listen to the soundtrack and that you do like it. It's just throwing shit up against the wall, because there's some shitty soundtracks out there. So help us out here, because there's some that are not. Right. I know from personal experience. But in any case, movie and an album that go together, and then or just an album, a full album that you can find on a streaming service. Put it as a suggestion in the most recent YouTube video. I'll find it. And if we don't have any open spaces, you'll be in the waiting room and we'll get you on the list.
Deck. But yeah, like always, like, subscribe, comment in the YouTube comment area, or go to Instagram and leave a direct message, a DM, slide in there, as they say. And thanks for watching and listening, and see y'all next time.
And don't forget, of course, we're on Instagram, Titfoo69. If you see any wild ass videos that remind that you see and you think of the show, let us know. Alex is paying attention. Is that how that works? I don't know how. I don't understand. If they can do that, yeah, you tell them. I don't know.
We got it.
Okay, yeah. If you have an idea, show it to us at Instagram. We'll do something neat with it. Maybe we'll repost it. In any case, that's enough rambling. You cats, enjoy your jobs. We'll talk to you next week. If you don't have one, enjoy, you fucker.
Get a tent.
Get a tent. I knew he was gonna. I want to say something, but I want to be. If you don't have a job, tell me where your tent is. All right, bye.